The development of Super 8 and low-cost videotape is making it possible now for people like you and me to make films and programs about things that concern us.
Okay, quiet on the set. This is a take.
Swamp has been a great support to me personally as a filmmaker for a really long time. I've had short films play on the territory, and that is huge as a filmmaker, especially a shorts filmmaker where there aren't a lot of outlets and distribution models for short films. As a professor at UT, I constantly hammer my kids about submitting to the territory and getting outlets for their short films. For me personally, it's just been a great support system.
I didn't really start getting into making my own films probably until I was about 11 years old. I remember the first thing I think I ever saw on the territory. That was my first introduction to Swamp. There was definitely something, even if it was probably sifting in my subconscious with what I had seen on the territory, that absolutely informed what I was doing later on, for sure. It was probably my first introduction to experimental film.
You know, the big moment for me was, I think, in '89, that grant cycle I applied for Slacker, and I got about $2,600 to help me, and it was pretty crucial in finishing that film. And I'm not being hyperbolic. I really, Swamp was a key element in my own evolution as a film lover, as a film director, I think it was just that little beacon of hope. I mean, when I got that grant in '89, that was the first time I had had any affirmation, as a filmmaker. I'd been making films for years, shorts, I'd made a Super 8 feature, but, working pretty much alone. It was the first time anyone had said, yeah, keep going. Here's $2,600. We think what you're doing could be good.
I love making this, and it's my passion, and it's what I love to do, but it's also, I think, a way of living, not only a hobby, And sometimes it's really hard to get support from other people to do this, because you need a lot of things, to accomplish what you want to do. And what Swamp did was just great. I mean, the fellowship program, it's amazing. And it's amazing to get to know people from another culture and another way of thinking.
An organization like Swamp is important on so many levels. It acts as a catalyst for the creation of new work, as we've seen in terms of the Emerging Filmmakers Fellowship program. It also acts as a resource center for people to come in, to be able to use material, the educational aspect of it, the community links. I think all that can serve as a way to be able to allow people who otherwise would not have access to be able to tell their stories.
Swamp has nurtured the early careers of a lot of major and important filmmakers, and that role hasn't diminished. That still the opportunity is there that Swamp provides for that next generation of storytellers, the next generation of film and videographers to learn and to have that opportunity to be encouraged, nurtured, provided resources in order for them to go out and make those early productions that will allow them to take the next step and then the next step.
Somebody has to help people understand the realities of the business, and Swamp is doing that. They give people faith. They help them persevere. They give them information. They give them track record. They give them all sorts of things they would never get on their own. They give them a community of resources.
I don't think the mission statement for Swamp has ever changed. It's always been there, and it will always be there, because there will always be a new generation to be encouraged, to be nurtured, and to be educated and brought forth. And I think it's important that we continue to support Swamp and make sure that they're here in order for that to take place.